Well, hey folks, start of week number 6. I am going to try to share my screen because I've created a PowerPoint that you can use as a checklist to make sure that you get everything done this week. This is my 4th time trying to record it, and I'm still not getting it like I want it to, so hopefully this one will work. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to hold our breaths and cross our fingers, and let's see here. Let's see. Maybe this is going to work. Let's swap those things. All right, hopefully you're seeing the title slide here. Hopefully it's not black. I'll talk through it. We'll see if it worked. And I'll record it for the 5th time if it doesn't work. So what are we going to do this week? We're going to continue doing what we've been doing all semester. You're going to finish reading all the discussion posts from Discussion 4, I Can Bury chapters 11, 12, and 13, which you read 2 weeks ago. You should have finished your posting last night perhaps, and finished the reading today. Just about everybody is getting to the point where they're getting 20 points every week. That was the intention. Once you get into the routine, it's not that hard. So finish reading up those discussion posts and make sure that you've submitted I Can Bury Article 4 over one of the ideas in chapters 14, 15, and 16. As of the time that I record this, I've gotten 11 of them, and I've graded all of those. That gets me a little bit ahead of the curve on grading, so it shouldn't be so bad next week when I come back into the office to start working. So that's last week. Finish reading Discussion 4 and submit I Can Bury 4 article if you haven't already done that. This week we're going to move into the next textbook, but our discussion is going to be the final one on I Can Bury 14, 15, and 16. So post by Tuesday to get full credit. Respond to 2 other people during the week. Shouldn't have any problem getting all 4 of the points on each of those pieces for a total of 20. Lots and lots of people are getting 20s. If you're not, you're either not posting by Tuesday night, or you're still struggling a little bit with getting the length of the posts that we're looking for. So start posting to Discussion Week 5. And go ahead and read the beginning of North House. Chapter 1 is the introductory chapter, and then 2, 3, and 4 are 3 approaches to leadership, the skill, the trade, and the behavior approach. Start making some mental notes on that. You're going to see right away this book is different. It's much more academic. It's much drier. But there's a lot of facts in there. There's a lot of studies referenced in there. You're going to see some of the strengths and weaknesses of each approach or theory or application. And then at the end of the chapters, some case studies and some assessments. We're going to talk about those in just a moment. New this week, we're going to need to get familiar with how the assessments work. So there's a couple of files in the week number 6 content folder that you're going to want to look at before you get too much farther into the week. One is a Word document called the North House Assessments Overview. You might print that out and have it handy because you're going to refer to it in a video that I'm going to show you a link to or a reference to here in just a minute. You also want to get the rubric, which is an Excel file. Go ahead and pull that up and print it out so you can see where the grading comes from that. And then when you've got those 2 documents, watch the video. That's got a link not only in the content for week 6, but also in the folder that's called Video Library. Watch that thing so you'll know exactly what you're doing as you are doing these assessments. Hopefully you figured out that the reason for the I Can Bury articles was twofold. Number 1, to get you used to doing a little bit of academic researching, but number 2, to reinforce an idea that you thought was important. By finding another article that dealt with that and trying to tie the 2 together. That's assimilation of ideas. The reason we're doing these assessments is that each one of the assessments reinforces the idea of that chapter and tells you a little bit about yourself. So as you go into this thinking, why am I doing this assessment? I'm hoping you're going to learn about yourself. All right, so look at those 3 documents, one of which is a video. Watch that. Then when you've done all 3 of those and you got the idea of, in general, of what the purpose and the process is for this week, you want to read through the individual choices that you have for the assessments. Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and Chapter 4 all have good assessments, and you really only have to do 2 of the 3. So go ahead and read through them and see if you can decide which 2 you want to do. For chapter number 2, there is a document file called Chapter 2 Trait, where it gives you an overview of what you're going to do. Then there is a document file called, I guess it's an Excel file called the Chapter 2 Handout, which you're going to make copies of and give to 5 people. And then you're going to see an Excel file that's called Chapter 2 Scoring Calcs. When you get those things back from your 5 selected people, you're going to key their numbers into this Excel scoring calc file, and it'll do the math for you so that you can do the assignment. Chapter 2 is a really interesting one. You might choose to do that. Also read through the Chapter 3 skills file. In that one, you're just going to print a Word document where you circle 1s and 3s and 5s and whatnot, and then it'll tell you how to do the math to determine what your scores are. Same thing with Chapter 4, the behavioral file, just 1 sheet or 2 sheets in a Word document. You're going to circle the appropriate number, you're going to score it, you're going to figure out what it means. After you have read through those 3 things, you want to pick 2 of them that you're going to focus on for the week. You're going to, when you have done those 2, keep in mind that the Chapter 2 one's going to take a little longer because you got to give the form to 5 people and wait for them to give it back. You may choose to do 3 and 4 because they're done much more quickly, but Chapter 2 is going to tell you a lot about yourself as you look at yourself from the perspective of somebody else. So Chapter 2, give yourself a little more time, but you probably get better information. So select 2 of those 3 things, submit the write-up for one of them as Assessment 1 and the write-up for the other one is Assessment 2. Notice that they're not going to match the chapter numbers. Don't worry about it. I don't care if Assessment 1 is Chapter 4 and Assessment 2 is Chapter 2 as long as they're different files and they are submitted to different drop boxes. So 2 of those 3, that'll be the pattern going forward. You'll pick in some cases 2 of the 3 assessments. In some cases I'll tell you which 2 to do, but one of them will go in Assessment 3 and the other one Assessment 4 next week, or Assessment 5 and Assessment 6 the week after that, so forth. What else this week? Remember that we've got Video Call 2, which is for bonus points. This case, because it is with the author of our textbook, it's worth 10 points rather than 5. It's going to be Monday night, February the 22nd. If you're watching this on Sunday, it's tomorrow night. Hopefully it's on your calendar already. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Kevin's calling in from Iowa or somewhere like that in Central Time. Hopefully he's not going to be too snowed in at that point. Hopefully you can join us. It's going to last about an hour. It's going to be very casual. He's a great casual, down-to-earth guy. When the call is over, if you've participated, just submit the Dropbox for Call 2 I Can Vary with the word done, and you'll get your bonus credit. Hopefully, again, that's giving you a pretty good idea of what you're having to do to be able to accomplish everything that's on our to-do list for this week. Print it out, cross it off, check it off, get your black Sharpie marker and cross through it, whatever you want to do. But get it all done. Get those points. You're doing really well. I'm going to encourage you to keep it up. Your attitudes have been good from what I can tell. If you're complaining, you're not complaining where I can hear you. Hopefully you're enjoying the material, and it's going to be something that's valuable to you as you progress in your growth as a leader. That's it for now. Week from now, I'll be introducing week number 7. That's it.